Good day to whomever. Just turn off my cell phone for like whatever time, and the other data just vanishes. I experienced that multiple times. When I see that, I remember just to turn off my phone, then turn it back on, and the other data just disappears. So I have more storage, more capacity on my phone. I could upload more videos freely on my cell phone without having to worry about deleting them as soon as I upload them, you know? That's why, cell phone storage, as far as, the gigs are concerned, now what I do is on the side just to get by, but the gigabytes, it's very relevant, to especially if someone uploads. Well, no, you have pictures and videos, you could probably store them as well, but I get to the point where just like it becomes like, oh, frustrating. It's like I gotta delete this one, and at certain times, I can't edit it, because as I edit, it saves a copy, So it's like, let's say I have a video of 5-6 gigs, and I only got 2-3 gigs left, and I have a couple of gigs left, but it just, I guess the iPhone needs it for processing or something, the operating system, so it doesn't let me get 128 gigs total, and then it just like it won't process it. I can't save it to my phone. So it just becomes a struggle. It's frustrating. But with the external hard drive, I could upload it there to my laptop. But by the way, I only got like 50 or 60 gigs left on my laptop. I gotta delete like delete like 200, 300 gigs of videos. So, it's to someone that uploads, that is into that, technology is a big part as far as the advancement of it. Also, the wordplay, what words you use. I just want to find out, is the correlation between being a gentleman. Because a gentleman is, it's not the most popular phrase to be used. Swashbuckler. I looked it up, and it says it's like I always thought it was a swashbuckler was like a pirate, but it was just like, it was a gentleman, but also they're fierce, they're strong, but also they're very gentleman-like. They have respect. That's what a swashbuckler was, especially with a British accent. Swashbuckler. It's just a very cool, chill phrase, chill term to describe somebody. I just feel like, use the phrase, gentleman, it accompanies with a certain personality traits. I feel like, to love the language, and to use sophisticated terms, all different words and all of that, it just comes along with it. That's what I would see it. But I don't do well with simple too often, too often there. It gets to the point where it just becomes routine, and you put everything just so simple, it deludes the actual meaning of what you're trying to say, and it could be confusing, Like, let's say you label a female a certain name, and you just label her, well, she's like that, like they're all the same. People have different personality traits. They have different reasons why they act out a certain way, this and the other thing. Even though I kind of understand it, but it just gets to the point, it's really not that simple. I don't like to believe that everyone just like is simple to the point where just they react, or they act. They could be explained or put in a certain box the same way. There was I don't want to say girl, but she acted like a girl at times. It's just like someone at the psychiatric unit. Actually, she was fun. I talked about it. I uploaded a video. Like, she would just, I'm gonna say, troll people, including me. And I lost my cool with her. I got agitated when she took my orange juice, and then she tried to put on my clogs, and she was calling me clogs with no socks or something like that. Clogs no socks, clogs no socks. It reminded me of Frank and Beans for from that character from There's Something About Mary. Frank and Beans. You know, like the guy had his privates there, kind of caught up in that. He saw that, you know, and maybe he didn't see it, but he knew what it was about. It was just so fucking hilarious. Frank and Beans, touch your ear. He never said that, but he was cool with it, you know. It was a jovial personality, you know. She was like that as well. She said, clock those socks. I'm like, I have socks on now. And I was trying to, and she was the only person one of the people, not the only one people that understood that they weren't just Crocs, like crocodiles. They were actually clogs from, the old world, if you will. You know, Holland, I believe. So it was really cool, but, you know, it was just like, and people try to label her this and the other thing. The first time I met her, you know, she sat down next to me as well. I was writing in my journal, one of the first journals I got, and she just wrote her cell phone number in there. And she was talking about some guy, Steve. She's like, you Steve. And then she called me Andy. I'm like, I started rhyming to her. I started saying something, and I just, I explained to her, that the way you're pronouncing it, you're stuttering on words, you're not pronouncing it properly, but you're also saying this and that. And then she kind of looked at me, she stopped. But then I started talking to the doctor, she spoke normally, and then she started doing that again. So I didn't understand if she had a disorder, or if she was just messing around with it to be funny. And it was just like, I didn't care. I didn't get aggravated by her. People started calling her a weirdo. It was like that. She didn't go and urinate in the halls. Although, there was a whole story going on with her, but, I kind of felt bad for her because I felt like she was abusing her life. And there's something with that, but I wouldn't just put her in a box with every other female that this and the other thing. Just like there's different layers to a person, and it's about just having just having a way with the language that you could understand, you could communicate better, so you understand what the person is. Not just you label her, a certain person, certain criteria to define her, and that's all it is. It's simple and also generic, and it does stifle how you want to get to know a person, or how to explain what a person is. So I think it comes around being a swashbuckler or a gentleman to a certain extent, where it's like you pay respect when you give them respect, and you try to give benefit of the doubt, try to give people respect every time. But when someone just doesn't is not concerned with that, just not that it will give you respect, it's just like there's no communication there. I understand you, but there's so many different layers to a person. I just refuse to just define everybody as such. But there's so many. I was writing something, and it's like, I don't want to say that, it's too simple. And I was writing certain words, like, well, I never heard any rapper, or like an MC or a lyricist actually use that phrase. I'm like, I don't even care. Just it does sound kind of abnormal, but as long as it makes me happy and I understand it, I kind of like it. There's certain people that probably will use it, but there's just very, very few between. Very few between. I actually kind of see Guru from Gangstar, he passed away. I could actually see him using certain words. It's like, I'm not going to use certain words because everybody uses it and it sounds hip and that. I use whatever I want, And some of the stuff I was writing was like, I don't want to make this too simple. I wrote something and it was just like, I was rhyming with all, no, this and that, or like no, and it's like, it's get to the point where it's like, I'm just being too lazy about it. Even though that sounds kind of fun when you're just like rhyming off the top of your head, and it's an easy flow to it, but trying to see if the someone picked up the drainage there. No, it's actually level. It does have a nice flow to it when you just rhyme it really fast, but when you sit down and put it together, you kind of pick little intricate words, you change it around. I look up the definitions to, I'm not gonna write something that's like, oh, well, I can't use that, I gotta rechange the whole thing or something like that. So you take a lot of time with that. Yeah. That's a lazy horn. Like, I want to be at work. This guy always just drives and talks to his wife on the cell phone in the car. Like, like they knew it could be bored. It's a service vehicle. What do you expect? It gets boring after a while, especially when you go on your trips. Cars like, come on, just stamp on it already. I don't care about the ticket. I'm a car. They did it on purpose. Like, here we go again. Same route. Cloudy, rainy. Just get on with it. Remember last week we pulled over and you slept for an hour? That was a good time. Tired. It works a lot. Be good to your service vehicle. Be good to your trucks. They do well. Going to get cat food, kitty treats, or I like to call them yum-yums because they're yummy. You know, I'm going to get some cat food. Actually, New York, Brooklyn, I bought, it was dog food, but it said it had like a juice or like gravy or whatever, so I bought that. I don't think it was the best, but my cat liked it. You know, she actually liked that stuff. And when I do, I put water in it just to like get all the gravy and actually make it, you know, more plentiful. And plus that she drinks a lot more liquids with it, you know. Certain cats like that. I don't like to do it with pate. You know, I did that once for Lillian, the cat that my ex-girlfriend inherited, but it does look like a bit soggy, which isn't too bad. I like to do it with cuts. And here, this place, they had a special one. I don't see it at other places. You know, there's a special food. Rachel Ray's has really good cat food. I would actually eat it. It actually smelled really, really good. And my cat actually liked that stuff. I didn't have to put too much water in it, although I think I did nonetheless. It was almost like an appetizer. It just had so much that juice element to it. And it smelled really, really good. It wasn't that expensive. I think they have it here. It was like $1.50 for like a little container. I thought about making my own for my cats. Not just her, but for all three of them. Even the two other ones that are around. You know, but then it was like they tried something and they're like, I'm not going to eat it. My cat, Junior there, she likes to eat, I want to say scrap food, but off the table, right? And certain meats she eats it, she'll eat a little bit. And then I'm starting thinking, should I just, you know, if I feed her like that, I should just feed her like that instead of cat food. And then she's not going to eat whatever I eat. You know, there's days I don't eat till like late at night, so, you know, I don't cook yet, so I'm not going to put her through that. Coming through, buddy. Excusez-moi. Excusez-moi, you wait till I die. Didn't do her justice with that. She used to just rhyme about everybody. It was hilarious. Like she was doing everybody pet names or something. I was Clocks No Socks. That was me. And they were just I forgot what other people's were, but it was just hilarious. Like everybody got a nickname out of there. You know, it was cool. It's like how could you be offended by that? It was cool as fuck. It was just fun, you know. Payson Hall. Payson Hall, Payson Hall. Just like you can remind him, here he comes. And I just started joining in on that. It just wasn't good enough because, you know, people just didn't enjoy it as much, so I gave it up. But it was just fun, you know. It's not like you're gonna have too much fun in psychiatric, you know. You kind of get aggravated by something, right? Anyway, feeling melodious today, if that's even an adjective. I always come up with an adverb, but I'm feeling like composing a melody. Maybe it will happen, maybe not. I want to mess around with Remix Live. I was frustrated last night. I couldn't understand something, and I just thought that, you know, I do have a talent. I have a niche for it, but it's like when you get to the point where you can create something, but you don't understand the mechanism. It's almost like, you know, yeah, you can scare goals, this and that, but you know what? You don't understand where the goal is, and you don't understand the outer boundary, and you'll be out of bounds. So it's like, you know, it's like someone like a Forrest Gump who can run really fast, but he just doesn't seem to understand the fundamental dynamics of the game, you know. And that becomes really frustrating because, you know, that's like one of the first things you should get to know when you have an application or program to create something. It just I can't watch the tutorial, and the tutorials I saw, it's like either it's for PC or it's like 2 years old, and it's not the same thing, so it becomes frustrating. But basically, it's like, you know, if I have a 30-minute video, I want to make music for 30 minutes. And it's like I want to have a loop for 10 seconds, and I just want to multiply it for that 30 minutes, or just, you know, pick a button, pick a time, and let it go for 30 minutes. I just want to see if they have that. I couldn't find it, you know. And it's like it becomes really frustrating. So what I do is just I let it play and I let it record for 30 minutes, and I'm like, dishes time. At least I'll, you know, how many times am I listening to that for 30 minutes? So I just, last time I just let it play for like 30 minutes. I kept checking back, and then the good thing is, when it gets to the end, I can actually finish the ending, and I can have a different ending than, just the loop, which I could do it nonetheless, but that's like the only upside of it. I could mess around with it. Although it's, I could edit it, the sound as well, and I could hide it, so it'll be fine, but it's just one of those things. I feel like, I'm doing it the cheap way, like I'm recording something over television, I'm uploading it and just holding a cell phone. It can be done, but it just seems cheap. But here I am at the pet store. Just gonna buy. I got a couple dollars, so I'm gonna buy all my cats and some food. See ya.